Hey everybody, welcome to Klaus to the Heart here on YouTube.com. I am Jason Klaus. We thank you so much for watching this week's episode. This week's show was kind of real. It was a no-brainer. I want to revisit and I want to reflect on what was this past Sunday, our debut live event on stage, Fisher Hall in Frankenmuth, Michigan. We talked about it for months, and it has come and gone, and I'm overall very pleased with how everything went down. And for my first time doing this thing, I really wasn't sure what to expect. I wasn't sure what kind of turnout I was going to get. Especially when the snow came into the area during the day, I was really concerned that it was going to be a deterrent as far as our overall attendance. But I kind of had a benchmark on what I would deem a success, and I was very pleased to to learn that I had reached that point. We filled about half the hall based on the available seats that were available for the show, and I came away from it feeling pretty good. The first and foremost, nobody walked out during the show, so that that made me happy, especially during the middle segment there, which I'll get to here in a minute. But I had sat down a couple of times to try to write something out specifically for the Facebook page, just to kind of show my appreciation for everybody that came out, and for all the help that I had to put the thing together and to execute it. It was a crazy endeavor, and there was some resistance when we first made this announcement that this is something that I was going to try to do, and I put together a very good team to help me out, and I couldn't have done it without them. James and Jenny Walter and Sam helped out tremendously. Sean Grugel, Nick Brow were able to document the thing for me in video and still photography form. I just and the people that showed up to watch the show, some of which I had no idea were coming. It was one surprise after another, and in a lot of ways, it was like Christmas all over again. I had people who, the crowd was made up of people from every aspect of my life. Professionally, personally, my family, friends I haven't seen in years, co-workers, fans of the MWO, representatives of our home venue of the Richfield Road Church. I mean, there was not one aspect of my life that was not represented in that crowd, and I will never be able to fully express my appreciation for those of you who came out. It was something, it was like I had talked about in the show. It was one day it was a dream. It was unrealistic in some aspects, and then it happened, and it came up real quick. We made the announcement 2.5, 3 months out. And then December happened, which went by in the blink of an eye. And the next thing you know, we're setting chairs up, getting ready for the show. And just a tremendous feeling it was. Once we got done, and we were, after everybody had left, I just kind of sat backstage for a couple of minutes and just kind of took it all in, like, wow, I did something fairly cool, and the feedback that I've gotten since Sunday has been humbling, to say the absolute least. And you know, I talked about appreciation an awful lot in the show, and you know, I feel, and I'm a very strong advocate that you need to let people know how much you appreciate them. You know, and I certainly do. You know, from the support staff to those of you who came out to the show to watch. You know, I very much stepping out of the box, and you know, there were a few times where I could feel myself going way off the rails, and I had to kind of consciously kind of put things on pause for half a second, reel it back in, get back on my course of thought there. But hopefully, those who came to the show, you know, hopefully some of it resonated with you. You know, hopefully you took something away that you found meaningful. Um, I'm just so floored and humbled just by the outpouring of love and support and everything that went into Sunday. You know, for my first time doing something like this, I couldn't really have asked for anything better. And just thank you just will never be enough. You know, the big question, and then there were some people who had planned on coming out to the show for one reason or the other. They were not able to, and you know, a lot of them were asking, when's the next one? Is there going to be a next one? On Sunday, when you know, when I got done with everything, and I could actually take a minute to kind of exhale, I was like, man, you know, for a one and done thing, this, you know, I'm pretty happy with this. But there seems to be some interest in a follow up, a sequel, if you will. So yeah, I am putting feelers out and kind of laying the groundwork for a possible a sequel to a live event. I've already sent emails out to a couple different venues. One I'm going to do this morning, and I have another radical idea that I'm going to pursue and explore and see if it's an option. But overall, I just wanted to say thank you for those of you who came out, and I just, man, when I think about the people that I had talked to there, and the, you know, the surprises that showed up, it just, man, it just really made me feel good, and it really made me feel like I was doing something really meaningful to the effect that they would, you know, come out and support me in this. And this was not a wrestling show. I mean, there was a lot of wrestling references. That's something that I'll work on if we were to get another live show, you know, set up. But you know, I talked about, I mean, fundamentally, that's who and what I am. And I can't really take that out of me. You know, that's what I know. And you know, so any kind of references like, you know, like that, that's, you know, and I understand not everybody that was at the show was an MWO fan, and they just came to support me. So I got to kind of, I realized there's a couple of things during the show that I realized, oh man, I got to work on that. I should probably not do that the next time. The singing thing, that probably will not happen again. That was a one and done thing. But it was something. I did that to kind of prove a point, to prove my point at that time. You know, sometimes in order to step out of the box, to do something, to get to where you want to be, to accomplish a goal that you want to accomplish, sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone to try to make a memorable impact. I think I achieved that at very minimum because nobody saw that coming. The transition into it, what didn't go off the way I had imagined it, but hey, it happens. So that was the part that I was worried about, that people were going to stand up and walk out on, but nobody did. So I'm pretty happy with that. So starting next week, we will get back to our regular format on the show. We will tackle different topics and, you know, different points of conversation, you know, kind of get back into something of a routine as far as the show goes. But, you know, this week, you know, obviously it's going to be a little more personal. I just really wanted to thank everybody. And yeah, we are working on a sequel. So if it materializes and we can work out a deal that's going to be beneficial for all parties involved, we will certainly be looking forward to making another announcement along those lines. So if you have any ideas or a topic you would like covered, or you want me to send somebody a shout out, you know, that needs some recognition, some positive reinforcement perhaps, just drop us an email at klaus2theheart@gmail.com, or send us a direct message through the Facebook page. Just search for Klaus to the Heart. So with that being said, thank you again to everybody that came out to Frankenmuth, to Fisher Hall this past weekend. It was so great seeing all of you and reconnecting with a few of you that I hadn't seen in a long time. And as always, we certainly appreciate you supporting the show week in and week out. And with that being said, see you next week right here on